again. Hi, welcome
Hi,
to my podcast, The Hayley Osborne Show.
thanks for having me.
No, I am excited for this conversation. I love our conversations offline, and this is online for everyone to hear. And I'm so happy that you said yes to come on the podcast. So I have introduced you, but I would like you, in your own words, to tell the audience who you are and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a psychotherapist. I have a private practice in the eastern suburbs of Adelaide, and I work with individuals and couples, and I focus a lot on relationships, the relationship with ourselves and the relationship that we have with others out in the world. And I do that by combining social sciences and psychology, and attachment theory and many other theories as well. And I'm also a relationship expert for an American AI couples therapy company.
I think it's amazing. So you do a lot.
I do a
And
lot.
you're a mum and you do all the things and you just wear all the hats with such grace and style that I am in awe. Now, something has
Thank you.
my okay, right, we're back. My screen just cut out for some reason, but it is still recording. Cool. Okay. So, first little hiccup, but we are good. So, um, I want to circle back. How does early attachment history shape who we're attached to or stay with? Now, this I feel like has a huge crossover into business and who we are as business owners. And like sometimes I like have a quiver when I talk to you because I'm just like, you just you go deeper and you can see through a lot of like barricades and people, and you like to break things down. And you've kind of, we went through that when I was pregnant, when we were trying to come up with things to add into your business. And you kind of then asked me a question. So, Anne is a private coaching client of mine. And yeah, it's been so interesting. So, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
So
you go.
because I'm mapping what you're saying, and that's what I do with clients as well, is you'll come in for a session and you'll start to explain your experience and what you're going through at the moment, whether that's a breakup or you're making a decision, a life choice decision to have a family or work decision. Whatever the decision is, I'm mapping that experience. And what I'll do as well is I will go back into your past. And I know a lot of people are like, I don't want anyone to go back into my past. But the fact is that a lot to do with where you are now in your life has a lot to do with what happened in your past.
Mm.
And as we grow up, we have our primary caregivers, which is our attachment system, which is mum and dad, or whoever that was for you. And in that, just inevitably, they weren't able to attend to all of our needs and wants. And in that wounding for us, there's a worth wound that happens in us, and that those attachment rates continue at 5 years old, 12 years old. There might be a school attachment break with a teacher and shaming. There's many sort of things that happen that you may feel like my childhood was fine, but for some it wasn't. And when we grow up, we detach from our parents, not wholly. What we do is we end up meeting someone in our world outside, and that wound initially feels like it's been covered or healed by this person that we meet in the glue of the meeting. And then those chemicals start to wear off, as we all know. And we don't know why. Scientists don't know why those chemicals wear off, but they do. And it's around about that 12-month period. And then those wounds start to come up in us, and we start to sort of project and deflect on our partners as if they were our primary caregivers, and it can be really painful. So there's that, and that can happen in the workplace as well. So you have a I'll have clients in here and they'll be explaining, their boss that they hate or their business partner and the frustration that they feel. And I will astoundingly be able to map that back to similar characteristics of their mother or father.
That's so interesting. And I
Mhm.
find it a little bit creepy because it is like unpacking and everything. And I feel like, that needs to happen when you're in business too, because of the constant peaks and troughs that you um, experience emotionally when you're running a business. Because in the morning you can have a huge win, and then in the afternoon something could happen and you have a huge low. And it's like it's no, it's up to you. You're the only one that can handle how you respond to that and how you move through it or how you stay in it and let it affect the rest of your week. So I think what you do and the science behind that and how we are as humans and how our brain works is incredible. So what patterns do you see most common come to your
Sure.
desk?
Well, in relation to what you're talking about, we can simplify and call it a trigger. So we've been triggered. We've been triggered in the workplace or at home by a partner. Even our children can trigger us, or a mother-in-law, anyone. We're relational beings and we will get triggered relationally. And it's just up to us to take responsibility for that trigger, move into that emotion and go, oh, wow, like, okay, that hurt. And why did that hurt? Why did I feel that shame or embarrassment? Why do I suddenly feel a little bit tighter or smaller? And some people will react in different ways. And there's three ways that the humans will react, and they'll either move towards, away, or against. So we hear a lot of that concept these days about the people pleaser. So that's a moving towards. So, oh goodness, I feel like I've just lost a connection with this person. So now I need to placate, I need to fawn. It's almost like a nervous system or automatic nervous system response. So there's the forward motion in pleasing, or some people will move against when that's not working, and suddenly, well, I hate this person, and that really hurt, and now I'm angry, and they'll want to sort of take revenge. And of course, a lot of this is unconscious, and then those two things don't work, and then we want to move away and
Mm,
hide.
I find it, yeah, it's so interesting.
Mm,
And in terms of like the anxiety, what kind
mm,
of role does that play in
mm.
all of these relationships, like with yourself, with your partner, with your business?
Yeah. So anxiety is attributed to the parts that exist within our system. And I'm talking in parts because I don't look at the mind as a mono mind. I look at the mind as a multiplicity. There's different parts of us. There's parts of us that, sure, they will feel anxious because they're trying to achieve something in business or they've got a goal or they feel like, if we start to peel back the layers, underneath the layers, it's because we fear that we might fail, particularly for, men and women in business. There's a lot on the line. There's a lot of responsibility. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves and the capabilities, that we need to uphold to. And this does also stem from, believe it or not, childhood as well. The capable one, the responsible one, the parentified one,
Yeah. Let's
archetype.
talk, let's talk about your marketing. So
Sure.
before we started working together, what were you doing with your marketing?
Nothing.
I just want that giggle to kind of last a little bit longer. And then why not? What were your biggest fears around marketing?
I don't know. I just thought I would just like do a logo and put it on the door and I'll just someone will find me.
I don't want to laugh, but yes. So Anne has a physical presence in Adelaide. She has a consulting office and she also has an online presence as well, which she consults with anyone in and around Australia and also in the US, which I'm so proud of you for that. That's just so awesome.
Thank you.
Um, and okay, so biggest fears around just the sign on the door and nothing else.
My fears, my biggest
Yeah.
fears about marketing.
Yeah.
I think what I learned from you is, yeah, I think it was more the social media. So I was looking at everyone else's content and it looks so fancy and edited and cropped and amazing audio. And I just found it really overwhelming. Like I wasn't really great digitally. And your advice was just don't think about it. So, so that really worked for me because
But
I,
I'm giving a psychotherapist this advice that says just do it. Don't think about it. Done is better than perfect. But with a strategy, obviously, on how you're going to show up. But done
yeah,
is better than perfect. And I think like so we did a social media strategy together. Then I worked with you one-on-one and I'm working with you one-on-one again. And I am in awe of how you are showing up, how you like not that you don't care, but you've just become a machine like
yeah.
of just goodness and it radiates. So can you just tell everyone what your website is and your Instagram if they're thinking, I need to stalk her?
Yeah, sure. So it's Anne Saraya. So that's the book.
How do we spell? Yeah,
Yeah, Annesureye, Suraya, Anne
yeah.
Suraya.
I'll put this in the show notes as well. But if you're listening and you are habit stacking, walking, driving, doing all the things, don't look while you're driving. But when you stop, yeah, and Saraya. So have a stalk of her and see how amazing she is. So yeah, what what made you go? So you're looking at everyone's content. What made you go, yep, I need to do this?
Yeah, good question. It was just, I guess, the amount of people that were coming in the door. No one really understood that what I was doing. And yeah, I guess having the business coaching with you, I did need a plan. And I was more just going with the flow and sort of depending on referrals. And that was only working to an extent. And then I sort of just opened my mind a bit and went, okay, well, there's 8 billion people on the planet. So what can I do in the digital world to, capture a percentage of that, even if it's a small percentage, I'm sure, yeah, we can continue to strive to, make that income bigger than, yeah, what it is now, which is my one-on-one capacity. Because I'm only one person, so I need to leverage from my
Yeah,
intellectual
yeah.
property.
And that's what we're doing now. So if
Yeah.
everyone's listening and you think, oh, what can I get my hands on that Anne has that she can give me? And you have created a really awesome lead magnet. Well, it's a lead magnet, irresistible offer, free download, freebie, a bonus of for people to get inside your head a little bit and see what that looks like. Do you want to tell us
Yeah,
what?
so it's 5 steps to stop abandoning yourself. So stop abandoning yourself in love. So, it's such a common thing. I get men and women in here and, they just so want to be connected to their person, their situationship, their long-term lover, whoever their person is. And we will do things to abandon ourselves to keep the connection. And so these are the steps to break that down, to recognize when maybe the abandonment is toxic or it's too far and it's really hurting yourself. So it sort of starts to lead into that big question that we can ask ourselves, nearing an ending of a relationship, or should I stay or should I go?
Mm.
So that's the guide. It'll take you through the steps. It's 5 pages, that'll take you through how to, yeah, move through some of those questions for you. Am I pleasing? Am I abandoning myself? Should I stay with this person? When you're just a bit confused, just to give you some clarity. That's what the guide
Yeah.
does.
I found that really interesting to read and like how you go about doing things because I mean, had I had found you post meeting my husband, I would have really needed this guide. But I think when you're in toxic relationships or ones that don't work for you, it's hard to see like the forest through the trees. Like it's hard to see that you're in it. It's hard to unpack yourself and realize that, hang on a minute, I'm abandoning the one person that matters the most, which is me. And it's hard to move away. Like, and so I feel like people need to hear more of what you have to say because you make it sound like the unpacking, it's after that. I don't think it's so scary.
That's right. A lot of it's to do with the acknowledgement, and this guide helps you map your experience as well. And once you just simply put it on paper, paper to pen, and then you can see it from a bird's eye view, you're not so emotionally swirling in the pain and suffering of it.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of
help.
like, sorry,
Yeah, it will help.
it will help. And I feel like there's a really nice parallel with relationships and business as well. And, you can get that far maybe in a direction that you realize you don't want to go in business. And then you think, oh no, it's too hard to get out of that. It's the same as relationships, when really, I guess, when you open up to someone or you say it out loud and you start talking about it, it doesn't seem so scary and it's not so hard to change,
Mm.
pivot, to move away, to move forward to something else that serves you better in your heart. And
Mm.
it's really hard to acknowledge those things.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, all of this comes down to trust.
So, another question I have, why do so many of us chase the feeling of being chosen, even when the relationship isn't healthy?
Yeah, well, there's a few reasons, and it sort of depends on the individual, but I guess primarily for us as beings, yeah, we want to be chosen. We want to feel like we belong. We're relational beings. And a lot of us can get just hooked on a feeling. We can get really overwhelmed by that initial being seen by someone or being made to feel special. We've sort of got these modern day terms like love bombing, and that doesn't even have to happen. Like sometimes we'll meet someone and
What's a love bomb?
love bombing, when someone continually sends text messages about how amazing you are or great you are, or uses all this verbal language, and then sort of cuts you off, sort of disappears.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just cut you off then from what you were saying.
Yeah, that's
In
okay.
and around, what were we talking about? Let me just, the feeling of being chosen,
Chosen.
even when the relationship wasn't healthy.
Yeah, so there's often a dynamic that happens between two people, and that's the moving towards, away, and against again. And, when this person will come toward you, that can make you feel really special. They can, in whatever way, and that creates a feeling. And then we can get attachment to that feeling. It's maybe a feeling we've been longing for that we haven't felt or needed for a long time, again, from our primary caregivers. And then we want to chase that feeling. So there's the feeling, and then there's also the dream. So a lot of us like to get hooked into the dream as well, which is a part in our psyche that will look out and imagine what life will be once we have all these things. And society really layers that as well. So we've got a house, imagine we've got children running around, and we've got that husband or that wife. Men do this too. And we've got a nice car in the driveway. And imagine all the holidays and all the family memories. And we really do get hooked into, again, this experience that we might be having, that we might actually have with this person we want to grow. And it can be toxic hope, because sometimes women in a relationship that's not actually giving us care and connection, but we're still hanging on to the hope of this dream, can be yeah, can be upsetting and painful running in that cycle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And it's really interesting. I think, okay, so let me ask you another question about marketing. What's been your biggest realization when you've started to, because you're definitely a thought leader in this space, and when you've started to lean in and show up in your marketing and you are showing up like so much easier. If you go back to day one and now, I can't even, I just can't. I'm laughing because
I agree.
you are so like you are so confident and you are so very smart and very good at what you do. And I'm sure a lot of people listening are like, that's me too, but I just can't show up in my marketing. I can't show up online and my socials. Like you are flying like an eagle now.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there was a barrier. There was a self-belief barrier. I looked at everyone else again online, website, social media, and I just couldn't see myself. I couldn't see how to be able to cut through the clutter and differentiate myself. And I think once I got over that, and I do like how you did say, just don't think about it. It does work, because in a psychologically, it's your prefrontal cortex that will talk you out of things. So I just get over it, or just do it like Nike. It's a good saying.
Yeah.
So once I got over it and just did it and got clear on my message and who I am in business, in as a therapist hat,
Mm.
um, and then just didn't think about it and just put the message out there and sort of shut my eyes, then I started getting traction.
Yeah.
I just had to get over that hurdle.
Yeah.
And now you'll get the feedback. And the more feedback you get in being authentic, the more it allows you to be authentic in business.
Yeah. And I love that for you because more people need you in their life
Mm,
that are going through these things because I think you're a genius.
thank you. I don't know about that.
Okay. So, what advice would you give business owners, especially let's say business owners in the health brand space on their marketing, like in and around their marketing, if
Mhm.
you look back, or like at any stage actually, what advice would you give?
Mm. I've got lots of advice.
Please.
Yeah, being authentic to their own message and then using Hayley Osborne. I just felt like you helped me organize myself. That's
Yeah.
all. Because you had so many cool templates.
Yeah.
And I love systems. I'm a systems thinker, but you're a systems thinker as well, but in a marketing sense. So
Yeah, yeah. And when
that's
you have that combined with like your personality, like
mm,
your anyone's personality and zone of genius, obviously very different, showing up becomes easy because you are confident in yourself and you back yourself 100%, which makes you show up in a done is better than perfect, just do it, don't think about it way. So
mm,
it's easy to say that and then doing it with a strategy becomes easier. So
yeah, it does.
yeah.
And again, it's the business relationship too. So, you and I, we didn't know each other at all. And it is difficult to put trust in someone else. You're handing over money, you're handing over, like, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? And, it's a risk.
Mm.
So, yeah, I can certainly say that I felt comfortable in working with you, and you're very positive and encouraging and sort of pull me through, I
Like
guess.
you're very good
And
at
I
following instructions and
in
me
my what,
cracking the whip.
sorry?
Good at following instructions and me cracking the whip.
Yes, yeah, that's right. And you don't sort of hold back. So, and neither do I. So it's I think it worked well somehow.
Yeah. It's definitely a two-way street too. Like you coming into my world and me obviously thinking, one, can I help you? Two, we're obviously going to be working closely together. Do we get along? Are we on the same page? And, it's been like lovely to get to know you in this world of like that you work in is just phenomenal. And I'm so grateful to be experiencing that through you. So
Thank
thank
you.
you. Now I know we talked about it, but where can the listeners find you, connect with you, and reach out to you if they need you in their life?
Yeah, so I've got a website and suraya.com.au. You can book online, in person if you're in Adelaide, or online worldwide, and then Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook, and Saraya.
And it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me and taking the time. I know how busy you are to be on the podcast and share your world with everyone who's listening. So thank you so, so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.